If you stop taking a weight loss drug like Ozempic or Wegovy, what actually happens next? Do cravings come back? Does weight come back? Can you keep your results? I've seen this play out up close. My younger brother was taking Wegovy. The weight was coming down. He felt better. Everything seemed to be working. But eventually his insurance stopped covering the meds and he couldn't afford to continue taking it out of pocket. And that raises a question a lot of people have. What happens after you stop? And how do you avoid gaining the weight back? Let's walk through a general timeline week by week, and then I'll show you exactly what I'd focus on. Okay, so weeks 1 to 2. For some people, not much changes immediately. But appetite may begin increasing. Food thoughts may become stronger and routines can start slipping. This is where habits start mattering more than medication. First thing I'd focus on, protein. Aim for roughly about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day, or in metric terms, it's about 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds or about 68 kilograms, aim for roughly about 105 to 150 grams of protein per day. That usually means about 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal. Some examples include pasture-raised eggs, 100% grass-fed beef, plain Greek yogurt, high protein, low sugar, wild-caught salmon, organic or pasture-raised chicken, lean ground or lean organic turkey, protein shakes if you're busy or just need to add more protein. And if you want meal examples, I break some of these down in my YouTube shorts, so you can go check that out. Okay, so weeks 3 to 4. This is where some people notice more hunger, more snacking, stronger cravings. This is where I'd add strength training. Not extreme workouts. Simple. Aim for 2 to 4 sessions weekly. I like to say that's a minimum. Each workout can look like 5 minutes warm-up cardio, 20 to 30 minutes resistance training, 5 minutes cardio cool down. Focus mostly on like squats, rows, presses, lunges, deadlift, and push-up variations. These hit large muscle groups and help preserve muscle. Very key. And if you need demonstrations, again, I've posted many examples in my YouTube shorts. And this isn't just anecdotal. Research following people after stopping semaglutide found that on average, participants regained a substantial portion of lost weight over time, highlighting how important long-term habits can be after discontinuation of the drug. That doesn't mean regain is inevitable, but it does suggest that protein strength training and consistent routines become even more important after stopping. Weeks 5 through 8, this is where some people notice old eating habits returning, less structure, possible regain. This is why calorie deficits matter. Not aggressive deficits though, moderate. Aim for around 3 to 500 calories below maintenance. For many adults, that often lands somewhere around 1,500 to 2,200 calories daily, depending on body size, activity level, things like that. Too low can backfire. Too restrictive can become hard to sustain. Week 8 and beyond, this is where habits become the difference. Because long term, maintaining results often becomes less about medication and more about routine. The people who tend to keep the weight off long term often built simple habits they could repeat just like we're talking about here. Protein at most meals. Strength training 2 to 4 times per week. Again, I'd like to see that's a minimum. Avoid extreme calorie restriction and routines they could follow even on busy days. For example, aiming for roughly 25 to 40 grams of protein per meal. Doing 2 to 4 short strength training workouts weekly. And avoiding the mindset of eating as little as possible. Not perfection. Consistency. Because the goal isn't only losing weight, it's keeping results years later. So what does this look like in real life? Let me give you a very simple example day, especially if your goal is maintaining results after stopping. So breakfast could look like 3 pasture-raised eggs, plus about 1 cup plain Greek yogurt. Add in a few walnuts and berries, such like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, even blackberries, things like that. Very nutritious. That's roughly 30 to 40 grams of protein. Lunch could look like about 5 to 6 ounces organic or pasture-raised chicken. Vegetables like broccoli, spinach, carrots, zucchini, stuff like that. And a moderate portion of carbs such as potatoes, black beans, yams, quinoa. Again, roughly 30 to 40 grams of protein. That's our goal there. Snack if needed. You could do a protein shake, again, with 20 to 30 grams of protein in that range. Or plain Greek yogurt with a few walnuts and berries. Dinner could look like around 5 to 6 ounces of wild-caught salmon or organic lean turkey, vegetables, and moderate carbohydrates, as mentioned, if desired. That usually lands around another 30 to 40 grams of protein. See the pattern here? The goal isn't perfect eating. It's getting enough protein. Keeping meals structured and repeating simple habits consistently. Because after stopping these medications, routines often matter more than motivation. And if you want meal examples or simple workout demonstrations, I break many of these down in my YouTube shorts. So I'm curious, if you've taken a weight loss drug like Ozempic or Wegovy, what worries you most about stopping? Let me know below. And if you want a simple plan to help maintain results long term, just comment the word plan and I'll send it to you.